They say the worst betrayals never come from your enemies. They come from your friends. 3 years ago, my best friend left me bankrupt with a pregnant wife to feed. He thought he buried me. But today, I'm the one holding the keys to his kingdom, and he's about to find out exactly what it feels like to lose everything. Let me tell you about the day I realized my best friend had been planning to destroy me for months. We were sitting in our company conference room. Me, him, and a lawyer I'd never met. Tyler, my business partner, my college roommate, the guy who held my daughter before I did, slid a contract across the table. "What's this?" I asked. "A buyout agreement," he said. "I'm acquiring your 50% of the company." I laughed. I actually laughed because I thought he was joking. We built this business together from nothing. We bled for this. We missed anniversaries for this. 50-50 partners, equal owners. But he wasn't joking. There's a clause in our operating agreement, the lawyer explained. It allows either partner to force a buyout. Your share is valued at $600,000, paid over 5 years. I stared at Tyler. "We shook hands. We're partners. You can't just..." "It's not personal," Tyler said. And that's when I saw it, the look in his eyes. It was blank. He had practiced this line in the mirror. "It's business," he said. "You have 48 hours to sign." That was June 2022. By July, I'd lost my company, my purpose, my identity. Tyler bought himself a mansion to celebrate. He posted photos of the pool parties on LinkedIn while I was sitting in my kitchen at 2 a.m. staring at a mortgage bill I couldn't pay, wondering how to tell my pregnant wife I'd failed us. He thought he destroyed me. He was wrong. Because 3 years later, April 2024, I stood on the courthouse steps, my hand shaking, and I bought Tyler's house at a foreclosure auction, the same mansion he'd bragged about, for $230,000 less than what he paid for it. His company, bankrupt. His reputation, gone. His house, mine. This is the story of how a handshake deal became a knife in the back, and how I used the exact same legal weapons that destroyed me to take everything he had. But before I show you exactly how this went down, if you believe people eventually get what they deserve, hit that subscribe button right now. Tap the bell, because what happens to the man who betrayed me? You're going to want to see every second of this. March 2015. I'm 33 years old, sitting in a coffee shop with Tyler. We weren't just friends. We were brothers in everything but blood. 15 years. I knew his parents. He knew my fears. He was the fun uncle to my kids. The kind of trust you don't even think about because it's just there. That day, we were both miserable in our jobs. I was drowning in corporate politics. Tyler was broke. "We should start something," Tyler said. "Just us. Build something that's actually ours. 50-50. Equal partners. You and me." He reached across the table. "Partners?" I shook his hand. I felt the warmth of his grip. I looked him in the eye. "Partners." That handshake was worth $2.3 million 7 years later. It was also the single biggest regret of my life. We spent 3 months planning. We launched a business consulting firm, helping companies fix their mess. I was the mechanic. I handled operations, fixed the problems, did the work. Tyler was the face. He handled the sales, the schmoozing, the image. We scraped together $20,000 from savings. I maxed out a credit card I hadn't told my wife about. We were all in. Year 1 was brutal. 80 hours a week, eating dinner at our desks, missing my daughter's first steps because we had a client deadline. But we did it. By the end of 2015, we'd made $180,000. Year 2, $360,000. By 2020, 7 years in, we were generating $2.3 million a year. We had 12 employees. We were real. I was making more money than I ever thought possible. I trusted this man with my life, my livelihood, my family's security. But here's the hard truth I learned too late. Trust is a feeling. A contract is reality. And I'd signed a contract I trusted him Too much to read. Now, before I tell you what that contract said, before I show you the clause that ruined me, I need to ask you something. Have you ever given someone 100% of your loyalty, only to find out they were sharpening a knife the whole time? Drop a comment right now. Tell me what happened. You don't need to share names. Just tell me, how did it feel when the mask slipped? I'm asking because what I'm about to show you next isn't just about business. It's about the heartbreak of realizing you never really knew the person sitting across from you. 4 years into the business, things were perfect on paper, but I started feeling adrift. Tyler began talking about empire building. He bought a Porsche. He started using words like optics and leverage. I just wanted to do good work. I wanted to build a company that lasted. We're leaving money on the table, Tyler kept saying. He looked at our clients and saw dollar signs. I saw people. We'd argue. Not fights, but just friction. I thought it was normal, iron sharpening iron. But then Tyler started cutting me out. I'd walk into the office and silence would fall. He'd hire people without asking me. You focus on the work, he'd say. I'll focus on the growth. Stay in your lane. My wife Sarah noticed it first. Wives always know. He doesn't look at you the same way, she said one night. He looks at you like you're an employee, not a partner. I defended him. I defended him, the man who was plotting against me, to my own wife. I ignored my gut because I didn't want to believe my best friend was gone. That was my mistake. June 2022. 7 years after that coffee shop handshake, Tyler called a meeting. Strategy session, the calendar said. I walked into the conference room. Tyler was there, and a stranger in a $2,000 suit. This is Richard, he said, corporate counsel. My stomach dropped. The room felt suddenly cold. Richard is here to restructure the equity, Tyler said. He didn't look at me. He looked at a spot on the wall behind my head. Richard opened the folder. The sound of paper sliding across the mahogany table was the loudest thing I'd ever heard. Mr. Harrison, are you familiar with Section 7, Clause 3 of your operating agreement? The lawyer asked. No, I whispered. It allows for a mandatory buyout if one partner deems it necessary for the strategic direction of the entity. My blood ran cold. Tyler, I said, what is this? Tyler finally looked at me, and his eyes were dead. I'm triggering the buyout. I'm taking your 50%. I laughed. A nervous, confused laugh. Stop it, you're joking. I'm not. The valuation is done. Your share is $600,000, paid over 5 years. Tyler, we built this. I taught you how to read a P&L. I carried you for 2 years. The contract supersedes verbal history, the lawyer interrupted. It's enforceable. If you fight this, you will drain your savings in legal fees and you will lose. I looked at Tyler, my best friend, the godfather to my little girl. Tyler, please, we're family. It's not personal, Michael. It's business. You think too small. I need to scale, and you're in the way. You have 48 hours to sign. They stood up and walked out. I sat there alone in the room I had painted myself 7 years ago. I couldn't breathe. I felt like I had been mugged. I hired a lawyer that afternoon. I wrote a check for $5,000, money we were saving for a family vacation. She read the contract and looked at me with pity. She got you, she said softly. It's a trap clause. It's rare, it's aggressive, but you signed it. You can fight, but it will cost you $50,000 just to start. Do you have $50,000 to burn? I didn't. I went home. Sarah was 8 months pregnant. She was folding baby clothes in the nursery. I had to tell her. He took it, I said, my voice cracking. He took it all. We cried in that nursery. We didn't cry about the money. We cried because we felt stupid. We felt betrayed. I'll fix this, I told her, trying to be the man she needed. I'll get a job. We'll be fine. I signed the papers, June 30th, 2022. I handed over 7 years of my sweat and blood. Tyler didn't even say goodbye. He just sent an email. Access revoked. July 2022. The first check arrived.
July 2022. The first check arrived. $7,200 after taxes. Our mortgage was $3,200, Daycare for Emily was $1,800. Utilities, food, insurance. The money was gone before it hit the account. I started interviewing. God, it was humiliating. Sitting across from hiring managers 10 years younger than me, explaining why I was unemployed after being a founder. "So did you fail?" they asked with their eyes. "No, I was bought out." "But you're looking for a job, so it wasn't a good buyout?" I couldn't tell them the truth without sounding bitter. 3 months. 0 offers. Our savings hit 0. Sarah went back to work. She was taking night shifts at the hospital 3 weeks after giving birth to Maddie. I sat in the car in the hospital parking lot watching my exhausted wife walk into a 12-hour shift because I had trusted the wrong person. I gripped the steering wheel until my hands went numb. I hated myself. Meanwhile, Tyler was on LinkedIn. Record quarter, scaling to the moon. He was winning. I was drowning. December 2022. I finally got a job. Director of Operations. Salary, $115,000. It sounds like a lot, but it was half of what I was making. My new boss was 29, a kid with an MBA and 0 experience. "Michael, I need you to ask permission before you order printer paper," he told me on day 1. I had managed a $2 million budget. Now I had to beg for paper. I swallowed my pride. I smiled. "Sure thing, boss." I did it for Sarah. I did it for my girls. But every day, a little piece of me died in that cubicle. March 2023. 9 months of purgatory. I was eating a sad desk lunch, scrolling LinkedIn, punishing myself by looking at my old company. That's when I saw it. A comment from an old client. A big one. "Service has really gone downhill lately. Does anyone know a good alternative?" I froze. I clicked. I dug deeper. I found another comment. Then another. "More consulting isn't what it used to be. Since Michael left, it's a mess." My heart started hammering against my ribs. Tyler had the clients, but he didn't know how to keep them. He didn't know the work, he only knew the sales. He was cutting corners, hiring cheap staff, ignoring the details. He was bleeding. I had a choice to make. I could stay in my safe, miserable job, keep my head down, survive, or I could fight. I went home to Sarah. "I want to start over," I said. "I want to go after them." She looked at me. She looked at the bills on the counter. She looked at our baby. "If you do this," she said, "no partners, no handshakes. You protect us. Promise." I promise. May 2023. Harrison Operations Consulting. Just me, a laptop, and a vengeance. I didn't steal his clients. I didn't have to. I just called them to say hello. "Michael," they said, "thank God, we're dying over here. Tyler's team is a disaster. Can you take us back?" "I'd love to." June 2023. 1 year after he stole my company. I signed my first contract, $180,000. Then the second, $240,000. By August, I had $720,000 in revenue. I walked into my 29-year-old boss's office and quit. I didn't even give 2 weeks' notice. I just walked out into the sunlight and breathed for the first time in a year. September 2023. My phone rang. Tyler Moore. I stared at the screen. My hands weren't shaking this time. "Hello, Tyler." "Hey, man," he said. He sounded tired. "Listen, we need to talk. Professional courtesy." "Courtesy?" I asked. "Like the 48 hours you gave me to sign my life away?" "Michael, come on. You're taking my clients. That's aggressive." "I'm not taking anything, Tyler. They're running away from you. They're coming to me because I actually do the work. I have lawyers," he threatened, but his voice wavered. He was bluffing. "Send them," I said. "My non-compete expired in July. I checked. You taught me to read the fine print, remember?" Silence. "I'm drowning here, Michael," he whispered. "The debt service, the overhead. If you keep this up, I'm done." "It's not personal, Tyler," I said, repeating his own words back to him. "It's just business." I hung up. I didn't feel happy. I felt powerful. October 2023. He lost his 4th largest client to me.
December 2023. My revenue hit $1.6 million. I heard through the grapevine that Tyler had taken out predatory loans to cover payroll. He was desperate. He was spiraling. January 2024. I ran into an old employee. She told me the truth. "It's over, Michael. He stopped coming into the office. The bank is calling every day." I did the math. He was done. March 2024. My lawyer called. More Consulting filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy. I closed my eyes and let out a breath I'd been holding for 2 years. "And Michael," she said, "there's one more thing. His house. It's in foreclosure. The mansion, the symbol of his betrayal. The house he bought while I was applying for unemployment. When is the auction? I asked. April 15th. Get me approved. I'm going. April 15th, 2024. The courthouse steps were concrete and cold. I stood there with the cashier's check in my pocket. Tyler wasn't there. He couldn't bear to watch. The auctioneer started. Opening bid, $400,000. $450, a flipper yelled. $480, $520. My heart was racing. This wasn't just a house. This was closure. $580, the flipper said. I looked at the auctioneer. I thought about the night I sat in the hospital parking lot crying. $620,000, I said firmly. The flipper shook his head and walked away. Sold to the gentleman in the blue jacket. I stood there, wind hitting my face. I owned it. I owned the roof over the head of the man who tried to leave my family homeless. Let me ask you something. Do you believe in karma? Real, actual consequences? Because usually, the bad guys get away with it. They get the golden parachute. They fail upwards. But sometimes you get to be the karma. If you've ever wanted to see justice, tell me in the comments. Have you ever seen a boomerang come back and hit the thrower? I didn't call Tyler. I waited for the legal process. He got the eviction notice, 30 days to vacate. He called me in May. Michael, he sounded broken, a shell of a man. I know it's you. Yeah? Why? You won. You destroyed my company. Why the house? Is this just to humiliate me? I looked at my wife playing with our daughters in the yard. We were safe. We were free. Tyler, you think this is emotional. You think I spent $600,000 to hurt your feelings, didn't you? No, I bought it because the numbers work. Rental yield is 8%. Appreciation potential is high. It's a flawless asset now that the liability is gone. I let that sink in. The liability, he whispered. You were the liability, Tyler, in the business and in the house. You over-leveraged both. I'm just correcting the market inefficiency. I can buy it back, he begged. Give me 6 months. I have investors. You don't have investors. You have bankruptcy filings. You have 28 days to vacate. The sheriff comes on day 29. Michael, please. My kids grew up in that house. That stung. I'm a father. I felt it. But then I remembered the conference room. I remembered him sliding that contract across the table. I remembered him choosing money over 15 years of brotherhood. Then you should have read the fine print on your mortgage, Tyler. Contracts are enforceable. Isn't that what you taught me? I didn't slam the phone down. I didn't laugh. I just pressed end call and went back to work because he wasn't my friend anymore. He wasn't my enemy anymore. He was just a tenant who didn't pay rent. I walked outside. The sun was setting. I expected to feel triumphant, like a movie hero. But honestly, I just felt tired. I had spent 2 years fueled by anger, by hate. It had worked. It drove me to build an empire, but it had burned me out. The best revenge wasn't buying his house. The best revenge was realizing I didn't need to think about him anymore. I won, but the prize wasn't his misery. The prize was getting my life back. I didn't destroy Tyler. Tyler destroyed Tyler. He thought he could build a business on betrayal. He thought he could cut corners. I just picked up the pieces he dropped and built something better. If you're watching this and you're sitting in the dark right now because someone hurt you, don't wait for karma. Don't just sit there and hope they fail. Get up, work harder, be smarter, protect yourself. Take all that anger and turn it into fuel. The boomerang always comes back, but you have to be the one to throw it. I'm Michael Harrison. I lost everything, and I built it back double. And if I can do it, so can you. Subscribe if you're ready to build. I'll see you in the next one.